This is Yamaha's new MT-07 model. It's been on sale around the world now for about 12 months, but it's just arrived here in Australia and New Zealand. And the model that we're getting is a little bit different than the one sold everywhere else. What makes the MT-07 Australia and New Zealand are getting unique is its CP2 motor. In the rest of the world it's a 689cc twin-cylinder engine. For Australia it's been reduced to 655cc's by reducing the bore down from 80mm to 78mm. Yamaha's placed a small restrictor in the airbox, and the throttle's also had a stopper installed so it can only wind out to around about 75% of its range. The end result is an engine that falls in just under the Lamb's power to weight ratio category. To offset the drop in power, Yamaha has retuned the engine to produce its maximum torque at just 4,000 RPM, down from 6,500, while its maximum power hits 1,000 RPM lower at 8,000 RPM. New riders are going to consider the MT-07 a powerful motorcycle. It has plenty of torque low in the rev range, and gearing provides it with a hefty punch. It will happily cruise along at 70 km an hour in 6th gear, or attack a series of twisting turns in 3rd or 4th. The MT-07 follows very similar styling cues to the MT-09. Up front the headlights are very similar, probably a little less aggressive. It's got those air ducts on the side that are again smaller than the MT-09. And down the back it's got a very similar tail. There's certainly no mistaking that the two are related. Up at the control area of the bike you've got this centrally mounted LCD screen. Gives you all the basic information you require at a glance, gear position, speed, petrol, and then you can scroll through the other displays by pressing these buttons here. Gives you your trip 1 and 2, fuel economy, odometer, air temperature and engine temperature. On this switch block over here you can see there's this nifty little combined ignition and starter switch. Suspension is a 41mm telescopic fork up front and a preload adjustable monoshock at the rear, which bolts directly to the engine casing. They do their job suitably well when you consider the sub $9,000 price tag. It's firm but comfortable and offers plenty of good feedback, especially at the rear where it's contending with the wide 180 rear tyre. The brakes have plenty of bite, and the only gripe being that ABS is not fitted standard or as an option. The MT-07 is not the only Lamb's motorcycle without ABS. However, for a bike of this performance level, marketed at learner riders, it may become an issue on the showroom floor. Riding around town on the MT-07, you realise just how easy this bike would be for a learner or beginner rider to handle. It's very, very stable at low speed. It's light, agile, brakes are great. It really is a confidence-inspiring bike. The same can be said when you get the MT-07 out on the open road and through some twists and turns. For a beginner, it would just fill them with confidence. It handles beautifully, it's very balanced. And for an experienced rider, you can really get a lot out of it. You could put an experienced rider on this, not tell them it's a Lamb's bike. It would be very hard for them to pick it. The few times you are reminded of the bike's Lamb status is when a sudden burst of power is required in the mid-range. Pulling out to overtake a vehicle at speed requires a little bit more time than what you would give on a non-Lamb's motorcycle. Yamaha's MT-07 really does push the edge of the Lamb's Australian market. It's a bike designed for beginners, intermediates and in a lot of respects experienced riders. Yamaha's invested a lot of money in developing this bike for the Australian market, so it's expecting it to sell and sell well. But having ridden it, it really is a bike that you can grow with.